Hello everybody, it's Lynn with Crafting Break, and I'm a little behind in filming these videos and posting them, but I decided I was still going to do it anyway. I feel like I say that all the time, I'm a little behind. That's what happens when I work so many jobs and work long hours. So these are the cards that we made at my in-person card class a week ago today, so last Saturday. So my card classes are usually the last in-person card classes are usually the last Saturday of every month, and we did Christmas in July. And so there's going to be 3 cards today, and I will do 3 different videos so you don't have to wait for me to clean the stamps in between. So here's the first card we made, and that is using the Jar of Joy and the punch that coordinates with it. So we'll get started on this card, and every card kit comes with everything you need, all the parts and pieces. I pre-cut a lot of the stuff for the class, so I just made it a couple extras so I could do this video. So we're going to start with a pecan, however you choose to say it, card base, and I'm just going to give that a good crease with my bone folder. And then there's 2 white layers, exactly the same size. One's for the outside of the card and one is for the inside of the card. So why don't we go ahead and layer, actually let's stamp one of them right now with real red. And this will be the sentiment for the inside that says, sending a jar full of cheer. And let me make sure I'm in view. And let's get that teddy fur off of there, although I think it's super cute to have a kitty fur on a card. Okay, I'm going to put glue on the back of these. I use glue because I don't put anything on straight the first time, so I need a little time to wiggle and shift and move things around. But you can use any adhesive you prefer. At my classes I provide double-sided tape, I provide glue, I provide sometimes Stampin' Seal from Stampin' Up, but not often. And a lot of people bring their own favorites too because they have a favorite. Okay, let's put the inside layer in. It's super cute that it says sending a jar full of cheer and there's jars on the outside. While we're in the mood of gluing, let's just take these 2 layers, and you can see how I went at a diagonal with those. So let's just add some glue to the back of those right now and adhere those to our card base as well. I've never done Christmas in July before, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, we all need to get started early on our Christmas cards. If you, of course, send Christmas cards. I am notorious for making them and never sending them because I get so busy. I don't think I've sent cards in 2 years, and I am determined that I am going to send cards this year. There's no excuse for me. I love making cards and I need to send the cards. Okay, these 2 white scraps, we're going to stamp the jar on them. So I'm going to use Memento ink. And I'm going to, and now when you use Memento, it's a firmer ink pad, so you want to push down with a little bit of pressure, more than you do with our regular ink pads. And hopefully the jar is on straight, because if not, I'll have a hard time punching it out, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. Sometimes when you have stamps like this that, you know, aren't solid, I lay them down on a flat surface like this glass mat, and then I pick them up with the block. And that way I try to get them on as straight as possible so they'll fit within the punch. So now that we have these, let's go ahead and grab, I say pecan, so I'm going to say that, pecan pie ink, and I'm going to stamp the gingerbreads in this. And I only need to stamp 1 jar. So let me ink, and see I'm just tapping lightly on this one, I'm not pushing down because this is a different type of ink pad. It's a little juicier, as I like to say. All right, there's our gingerbread cookies and gingerbread woman, I'm gonna say. It can be anything you want it to be. Okay, I'm bringing that real red back out, and this is 2-step stamping. So this is why I love photopolymer, because I can see when I ink this up with the red ink where it needs to go. And I can tell you how I line it. The bow tie and the 2 buttons and then the center of this star is how I line it up when I go to ink this on the paper. Let's just get some ink on that. So again, I'm going to look for the bow tie, the 2 buttons, and then I'm just going to go for it. Looks good. You can't mess it up, honestly. No one's going to know. Okay, now the other jar sentiment. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas. All right, our stamping is done. And I will clean all those later. Now for the noise. I'm going to punch these out with the punch. And how I like to do it is, I know I'm a right-handed person, so I hold the paper with my right hand, and I make sure I stamp, you know, pay attention to the punch and where you want to hold the paper. And that's why I stamp the jar in the bottom left, because I'm going to feed it through and kind of hold it with my right hand while I get that teddy fur out of there. You just heard me. He's on the table across from me. I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure to kind of hold it in place, and then when I like the placement, you can see that, I'm just going to punch it. And I'm not going to need that white lid. I'm going to use green. So let's punch out this second one, and I'm going to lean it towards me so I can see what I'm doing. So just like that. Punch. All right, so we've got those jars. And I just have some scrap garden green, and I'm going to punch out 2 lids. I wanted a different color. Okay, we're done with that punch. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, and I'm going to do a couple dots at the top up here of my jars, both of them, because that's where I'm going to adhere my lid. Just a little bit of glue. A little bit will go a long way. And let's put our lids on, and here's why I need the glue. I need to shimmy that for sure. That did not go on straight at all. There we go. And this lid. That one wasn't so bad. Okay, I'm going to turn these over. Oh, I forgot to grab the dimensionals. Let me grab those. Good thing they're right behind me. Okay, I'm going to pop my jars up with some dimensionals. I love dimensionals, so if I tend to use a little more than you normally do, that's okay. I was at the card class last week. I was making a card for somebody, and someone was saying, gosh, you do use a lot of dimensionals. I'm like, hey, you know, I don't mind. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bottom one. Just put those right there. And again, just anywhere at an angle. You can put these on straight if you want. I usually am very straight with my items, but this one I went a little outside my box, outside my comfort zone, if you will. Okay, so that part is done. Now I'm going to grab these really cute peppermints. We had these last year, and boy, they had a hard time staying in stock, so they've been around now for this year, so I'm using them while I can. Actually, I don't think I need the poker to get these out. My nails will work fine. So we're just going to put some of these. And as you can see, I used quite a bit because they're so darn cute. So I used quite a bit of peppermints. I like odd numbers, so you can see I used 5 on that. And super cute. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Sending a jar full of cheer. Okay, that's card number 1. I will have card number 2 right after this.